All right. So as we talked about, yep, so get your construction line in. Ahmed, thanks for that tip. I like using that now. So with the construction line, again, we talked about the geometry. We talked about a few different things here. What we want to concentrate on is complex and complex by PI. The reason why we want to concentrate on that is there's a couple of methods that we recommend, this being one, the other one, the setting civil rule, is because this is the one that seems to work the best out of all of the different options that, and when I say works the best means there's less crashes, there's less discontinuities, there's less apt for your geometry to go sideways. So complex by PI, the way that we utilize that, so I can set radii whenever I want to. Type is going to come up. Sometimes it'll come up spiral, arc, ratio, curve. Since we're roadway, we pretty much use curves. Sometimes we use spirals, but we save that more so for rail. So again, I can define radii for my back transitions, my head transitions. You can see right now my feature name. I don't want it on that. I actually want it on a feature. So I'm going to say this is my primary road. So again, this goes back to our discussion on the different alignments that we have. There is a primary alignment. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my primary alignment. I do not want it named this, though, for instance. Again, we really want to try and match up the file naming across the board, not only files, but how we're naming alignments, how we're naming points, how we're naming those different elements. So the name for that feature, for that alignment, then I still want to stick with, okay, this is a roadway alignment. So I still want to stick with roadway. And as I said, this is my primary alignment, and this, it has a name to it. So I'm just going to call it roadway Ute for now because it's Ute Avenue and it does have that name with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my construction lines now. And I'm going to draw in with my complex, again, complex by PI. And I'm going to snap to all of my construction lines. And notice I'm saying snap. I don't have my AccuSnap on. The reason I don't is because I want to make sure that I'm hitting all those endpoints doing my tentative snap. Sometimes when you have your AccuSnap on and you think that you're just clicking to there, a lot of times it won't go to your endpoint exactly where you want to have it. So definitely be aware of that. Okay, so now, and then I'm just going to snap there. I'm going to right click to finish. Now I have an alignment. So now my alignment's here. I can pick that alignment. Notice I didn't have any radii in there. That's okay. If I want to come back and put in a radius, I can come back and put in a radius. One of the things that I use is table editor to go ahead and do those things. So I can select table editor for my horizontal geometry, and this is used for both horizontal and vertical. And you can see I have 0 radius. Okay, well, I don't want 0 radius. I want a 1,000-foot radius, or I want a radius what my design criteria tells me my radius is. So I need to make sure that I can look at that and have the radii that I need to have in there for the speed of the highway that I'm using, and making sure that that all works together. So again, really making sure those things go into play. And you can see what it's doing is it does that dash line and says, oh, okay, I want to do this. One thing I want to make sure is that it is on primary alignment still, because if I'm on a different feature definition and I click this, sometimes it'll put that arc on a different feature. So I'm going to hit apply, and you can see it went ahead and it moved up. Well, you can see my construction lines are still there. So with my construction lines still there, I can just go ahead and say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to turn those off. So now I can really just manipulate my alignment. And that's another reason to really have it on that construction versus a level, yes, you can go turn on and off a level. But the nice thing about the construction lines is those can stay in the back and not get exported with everything else. So that's creating an alignment by complex PI. So I think we can stop recording there, Sahar, and then we can see if there's any questions.